Welcome to my channel where we discuss everything and all things politics, especially about the 2023 presidential election in Nigeria. You know that the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, or you can also call it Presidential Election Petition Court, sitting in Abuja, has been deliberating, receiving evidence from Peter Obi of the Labour Party and Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party, among others. These are the key contenders against the declaration of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the winner of the February 25, 2023 presidential election in Nigeria. Now, from all indication, Peter Obi is and Atiku Abubakar, they are about to close their case. It means that the proceedings are winding down. So it is an appropriate time to take a look at the courts and what Peter Obi has done so far to see if Peter Obi and the others can be able to get justice at the courts. Because at the end of the day, I keep telling people, the election is not yet over until the Supreme Court rules. Because even though right now, based on INEC declaration, we have a president in the person of Alhaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the elections are not over. So that is what I want us to look at. That's what I want to talk about right now at this point in time. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you will be among the first to know. God bless you. Now, the 2023 general election in Nigeria, including the presidential election, was billed to be the most transparent this country has ever seen. All the hitherto flaws and riggings that had characterized Nigerian election for decades was supposedly taken care of by the 2022 Electoral Act. Much was made about the use of technology to address all the strategies that the SY ruling party, the People's Democratic Party, and the current ruling party, the All Progressive Congress, APC, all their usual processes of rigging election were supposedly addressed by the new Electoral Act. Because when the new Electoral Act was signed, after much prevarication by the then President Muhammad Buhari, because don't forget, there was a lot of pressure on Buhari before he signed the Electoral Act. He signed it almost as the expiration time for the signing was closing in. That was how important that document is. So it was seen as a game changer. It was seen as a game changer by the civil society, by the Friends of Nigeria, who fund part of our election. Don't forget, there are United States aid, European Union, and several other international agencies. They are among the funders of our Independent National Electoral Commission. They were excited, everyone was excited that the signing of that Electoral Act would, would be the game changer. That's a whole lot of new Nigeria is possible because there is now a tight proof, watertight proof, as is seen, of conducting an election that will not be rigged by the master riggers, the People's Democratic Party, and the All Progressive Congress. The INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, promised both Nigerians and the international community that beavers, that's by model voter election system, beavers, will be used for the accreditation of voters, and that no one can vote unless the person was cleared by beavers through fingerprint or facial recognition. Nigerians was told that there will be no incident form which was used in the past to rig elections, and that election results will be photographed and uploaded on real time to the Independent National Electoral Commission portal, and that anyone can view this portal from anywhere in the world on election day. The thoughts that the election will be free and fair and that the votes of Nigerians will count encourage more Nigerians than ever before to register to vote, especially the youths. The enthusiasm for election was palpable. The 2023 general election was the most anticipated election in Nigeria's history. Hopes were high that the country will get it right this time, thanks to the role expected to be played by technology. And we know how technology played a role in 2015 because former President Muhammad Buhari, was thanking technology for being the reason why he was able to win in 2015. Because he had been saying that all the elections he had been participating from 2003 were rigged against him. Okay? But he said the introduction of technology was the game changer for him. That was how he was able to win. So it was expected that with better technology, more confidence in the personnel and processes that follows it, going by what was coming out from the mouth of INEC chairman and other officials, that really Nigeria is in for a good time. Nigeria is in for electoral process that will bring in leadership that is truly the wish and the aspiration of Nigerians. Now, a day before the election, a former resident electoral commissioner in Akwa Ibom State, in the person of Mike Ngini, appeared on Arise television and warned that the election that will take place tomorrow, February 25, that no one will be declared as the winner of the presidential election without getting 25% of the votes cast in the Federal Capital Territory, insisting that Abuja is like a compulsory question which you must answer as a candidate. You must answer, it's compulsory. He noted that besides getting 25% of the votes cast in two-thirds of the 36 states of the Federation, for anyone to be declared the winner of the election, the person must also get 25% of votes cast in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. That particular message by Mike Ngini is still there on YouTube, TikTok, anywhere information are shared. And for Mike Ngini to know this, it is a given that the INEC chairman himself is aware of it, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu. Okay? It's a fact, it's a given. If Mike Ngini is aware of this, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu is aware of it. On the presidential election day on February 25, Nigerian voters fired out early to their various polling units to fulfill their civic responsibility. There were all kinds of challenges over the arrival of voting materials and INEC officials. And there had been a report done by a non-governmental organization which showed that on that election day, voting started early in northern Nigeria and southwest, but in the south and southeast, the Independent National Electoral Commission, Independent National Electoral Commission officials deliberately came very late. And when they arrived, they left behind vital electoral materials essential for the election, thereby disenfranchising many in that part of the country. There are many people in the southeast and south that didn't vote in the election because INEC, in what appears to be a deliberate attempt to suppress votes and numbers of votes coming from south and southeast, did not show up on time. And when they showed up, either the ink was missing or one form or the other was missing. There are many communities in southeast that INEC told that they will come back the next day to come and conduct the election in their area. They never came back. But the report by this NGO showed that northern Nigeria started voting early. And you know what it means to start voting early? It means you can be able to bring out the numbers, followed by the southwest. So there were all kinds of deliberate attempts to suppress votes. Because if you study this that I'm telling you about, I think it was done by Yaga Africa. Also, they took a look at the time that INEC officials arrived, the interpretation of suppression of vote. I'm the one that's making it, because the idea is that if INEC official could come early in the northern Nigeria, where we have more insecurity than southern Nigeria, especially south and southeast. If it is not to suppress the vote in south and southeast, which was the stronghold of Peter Obi of the Labour Party, I don't see any reason for that. Because there's no insecurity. The insecurity in south and southeast pales in comparison to what we have in northern Nigeria. Yet, election materials arrived early in Borno State and all the northeast states and northwest states, north central states, where bandits have been on rampage before the election. So I interpret this as a deliberate attempt to suppress the number of votes coming out from south and southeast, where there was a lot of enthusiasm. And let us not also make it appear as if those were the only area there were enthusiasm for Peter Obi. There were enthusiasm for him nationwide, including the southwest, including the north central, and part of the northwest. That's true. So that was the atmosphere in which the election was conducted. Now, Despite all those shortcomings, what people endured, this, the fighting in Lagos to stop people from coming out to vote and all that. A woman was bloodied and all that, and she still managed to go and vote. All kinds of things happened to suppress the vote. Yet, Nigerians were determined to vote, and they voted. Now, after the election, to make matters worse, after the election, the Beavers was able to transmit the polling units results of the senatorial and House of Representatives election to the INEC portal or the IRF. But the Beavers failed to transmit the most important of all the elections, the presidential election, to the IRF. This development, this development is the reason most Nigerians believe that the election was rigged in favor of the candidate of the ruling party, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who was declared winner of the election. The aggrieved candidates were told to go to court, and they went to court. The prominent candidates that are in court include the presidential candidate of Labour Party Peter Obi and presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Abubakar. Here, we are paying particular attention to Labour Party and Peter Obi. Peter Obi has brought witnesses that dismiss the claim by the Independent National Electoral Commission that the reason he could not transmit the presidential election result on that day was because each server suffered glitches. The announcement of the suffering of glitches by INEC server was made by Festus Okoye, the spokesperson of the Independent National Electoral Commission. And that has been regurgitated by several others in the INEC, including the former Minister of Information, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, who claimed that there were attacks, cyber attacks against the server of INEC, that INEC panic and switch off the server and then open another server. That's what Lai Mohammed told the world in London. But it has now come out to be totally false statement, going by the evidence that Peter Obi's witnesses, who should know better, had given in the court. Peter Obi and the Labour Party, they subpoenaed the host of INEC server, Amazon Web Services, AWS, who stated that there was no attack on INEC server on, before, or after the election. It then means that the election was deliberately rigged, sabotaged. The transmission of the result was deliberately sabotaged by officials of INEC and the ruling party. Now, this is enough ground in a sane society for the election of Tinubu to be annulled, because the result used in declaring him winner is very suspect. If there was a deliberate internal effort to sabotage the process, which appears obvious given the declaration by Amazon Web Services who are the providers of security for the server, saying there was no problem that day. There was no glitches. Peter Obi also brought a professor of mathematics, a renowned data analyst, who presented a report to the court and asserted that INEC illegally awarded Tinubu unmerited 2.5 million votes. And of course, this same uh, mathematician discovered 18,088 blood results in the INEC archive. With such a huge amount of blood results, how did INEC get the results to declare Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu the winner of the election? That is the question that the justices of the Presidential Election Petition Court should ask and get an answer from the Independent National Electoral Commission. They should come and show them the mathematical equation with which they arrive at the figure that get Tinubu the majority of the votes to be declared the winner of the election. Now, this mathematician that Peter Obi brought has also threw up a lot of things about Peter Obi himself. For him to have the mindset to have recruited this man 5 days before the election, because the man himself tendered a letter of appointment given to him to be the analyst, data analyst for the Labour Party in the election on dated February 20th, 5 days before the election. Now, that foresightedness of Peter Obi is paying off, because he has come to the court to present the data, and the data he's presented is damning to INEC. And INEC has said nothing to be able to counter what he said. Now, this discovery by this mathematician is significant. This is because INEC declared Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu the winner of the election. INEC allocated to him, Tinubu, 8.7 million votes. That was what he used in winning the election. Atiku Abubakar got 6.9 million votes. Peter Obi, 6.1 million votes from the INEC allocated results. Now, if you subtract 2.5 million unmerited votes that was allocated to Tinubu, according to this mathematician, Tinubu's number would drop to 6.2 million votes. And if you add all the votes of Peter Obi that was suppressed, as Peter Obi had been presented in the tribunal, how his votes were suppressed in various parts of the country, and you add it to Peter Obi, the mathematician concluded from the report he presented at the court that Peter Obi will be declared the winner of the election. And if you look at it objectively, you see that based on his analysis, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is likely to occupy the third position based on this mathematician's analysis of the election results. At the beavers, the ones at the beavers, and those he collected from the party agents of the Labour Party. So you can see that Peter Obi is standing on a solid ground, and that Tinubu's presidency is on a quicksand. If Nigeria is a country where people are honest and the courts rule according to the law, according to justice, and according to the conscience of the justices. Okay. Now, aside these padded votes that was allocated to Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, which if you subtract all those, Tinubu will drop down to number 3 position or thereabout. There is also the contentious issue of the status of Abuja, which is one of the reasons why Peter Obi and Atiku Abubakar won the election of Asiwaju to be annulled. Now, Peter Obi is the only person who is on a solid ground also in the case of Abuja. This is because he scored over 60% of the vote cast in Abuja, which automatically put him in strong position to become president if Tinubu's election is annulled, because Atiku Abubakar did not get up to 25% in Abuja like Tinubu. Okay? And if Tinubu's election is annulled because his declaration as winner was done in violation of Section 134, subsection 2B of the 1999 Constitution, which states that for any presidential candidate to be declared the winner of an election, the person must get majority of the votes cast in the election. The person must get 25% of the vote cast in 2/3 of the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. And this "and" has been interpreted by the Supreme Court to mean conjunctive. It means after getting 25% in 2/3 of the 36 states of the Federation, you must get 25% in Abuja. In the case of Abubakar versus Yaradua, the Supreme Court ruled that "and" is conjunctive. And it's not, the Supreme Court is not expected to change their mind in the interpretation of what is "and" in 2008 from what "and" is now in 2023. And the whole world are watching them to see whether "and" will mean a different thing in 2023 from what it meant in 2008. In that, Peter Obi is standing on a solid ground, and Tinubu is on a quicksand. Now, INEC, in apparent violation of Section 134, subsection 2B, Mahmoud Yakubu, the INEC chairman, in the wee hours of the night, when most Nigerians were asleep, March 1st, despite the protestations by the opposition parties, announced Asiwaju Bola Tinubu as the winner of the election, without regard to the fact that Asiwaju Bola Tinubu did not get 25% of the votes cast in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Now, there is also the issue of forfeiture of $460,000 proceeds of drugs to the United States government through the courts in Chicago, Illinois, which Asiwaju Bola Tinubu forfeited in the 90s. And the forfeiture in Nigeria is assumed to be a crime. In Mohammed Abacha versus the federal government, the Supreme Court has defined what is forfeiture. And what is forfeiture in Nigeria is no different from what is forfeiture in America. That is another ground that many believe the election of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu could be annulled, because a convict or somebody who has been found to be dishonest and there is evidence to prove it in a court of law is not qualified to contest and be president of Nigeria. Now, Peter Obi and Labour Party's efforts to get justice has not been easy. It has been hampered seriously by the uncooperative attitude of INEC. And the justices of the court seem to kowtow to INEC and the ruling party. Peter Obi, Labour Party, Atiku Abubakar, and PDP had paid for some evidences which are with INEC to be given to them to prove their cases. But INEC had been stonewalling, and the justices of the Presidential Election Petition Court could not find it necessary to call INEC to order. A few examples will suffice. The Labour Party and its presidential candidates recently on Monday alleged that the Independent National Electoral Commission refused to provide the documents they asked for. Obi and Labour Party, as I said earlier, they are contenders. They are petitioning the declaration of Tinubu as the winner of the election. So for them to petition against Tinubu, they need to have evidence, and those evidence they need are with INEC, because they are the ones that conducted the election. Now, respondents in the election, the INEC, President Bola Tinubu, Vice President Kashim Shettima, and the All Progressive Congress have been doing everything to object to whatsoever evidence that Peter Obi and co. presented to the court. Yet there are more that they wanted to present, but they couldn't. So they feel frustrated. That was what led the Labour Party and Obi to tell the Presidential Election Petition Court that due to INEC's failure to provide the documents demanded, they will be unable to go on with their case. Can you imagine? So you can see that Peter Obi, despite all the successes he has been having, there are more he wanted to bring out to prove his case. And those information, they are with INEC. But INEC is not ready to bring it out. The counsel to Labour Party, Jubril Okutekpa, he told the court that all the documents his client asked for from INEC were not provided. And sadly, these documents were paid for. Listen to what Jubril Okutekpa, senior advocate of Nigeria, what he told the court. He said, "We are bringing this to your notice for your intervention because we have done everything humanly possible. This afternoon, INEC released a few IRIF reports from Lagos and Gombe. These documents were certified since May 29. We have severally written letters detailing the documents we needed in the proof of our petition. We have paid for most of these documents," he said. Okutekwe also informed the court that it appears that INEC was deliberately delaying proceedings. So you know, this is some of the reason why a lot of people are skeptical about getting electoral justice in Nigeria right now. Right now. Now, look at the defense that the counsel for INEC presented. Abubakar Mahmood, senior advocate of Nigeria, told the court that he received a letter dated May 15 from the petitioners and has not received any other letter after that. But the ones you received their letter, have you provided all? And he goes ahead to say that all documents that the subpoenaed witnesses are tendering were provided by INEC. We never denied petitioners any document. I'm a senior counsel and know the importance of this matter. They should stop this lamentation, he said. But that is not what the petitioners are saying, because they are the ones wearing the shoe. And they say that he who wears the shoe knows where he pinches. However, counsel to Tinubu and Shetima, Wole Olanipekun, senior advocate of Nigeria, also promised to ensure that a meeting between senior counsels hold to address the issues raised. So they are trying, they want to give the impression that they want to solve the problem. But the time is running out because Peter Obi and Atiku Abubakar, they are on the verge of closing their cases. Okay? And I know for a fact that Peter Obi and Labour Party has also subpoenaed INEC to produce members of the ICT team, Information Communication Technology team of INEC, to come to court to explain the glitches that they claim made them to stop the transmission of the presidential election results from being uploaded from the polling units to the RF. But INEC refused to produce them in court because Peter Obi's lawyers wanted to question them. And already Amazon Web Services said there was no glitches. But there was need to bring the INEC ICT people to come and explain how the glitches happened when Amazon Web Services said there were no glitches. Now, all these incidents and more make many people to question whether Peter Obi can get justice from the court and recover his stolen mandate. Many people have referenced some questionable judgments of the Supreme Court, which even some senior lawyers like Olisa Agbakova, senior advocate of Nigeria, could not understand. Of particular note was how the former Senate President, Ahmed and former governor of Akwa Ibom State, Godswill Akpabio, managed to get the senatorial tickets of the APC after having contested for the party's presidential ticket earlier on, and how the Supreme Court declared Hope Uzodinma, the governor of Imo State, from number 4th position. These are some of the reasons that people are skeptical that ordinary Nigerian, or anybody for that matter, who is at this election petition tribunal could be able to get justice. However, there are those who are of the view that the justices may have the Damascus experience when Saul of Tarsus was going to Damascus and he saw the light, that the judiciary may see the light and use this moment to redeem itself and show that a new Nigeria is indeed possible. And I keep saying it. Peter Obi was the first person who was able to remove a sitting governor and replace him. by the time he did it in 2003, nobody, in 2006, sorry, nobody has ever done it in Nigeria. And Peter Obi is on the verge of also making history when he succeeds in removing a sitting president. It will now become common in Nigeria, just as it has become common now in Nigeria, that a sitting governor could be removed from office. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you will be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, Google will rank it high and recommend it for more people. God bless you and yours.